we're going through serious domestic crises. We've got major international crisis, the first war in Europe for 70 years. We need a serious, whoever takes over needs to be a serious, capable individual.
Let's go now and speak to Conservative MP Philip Dunne, who joins me live. Morning, Philip.
Morning, Matt.
Nice to have you with us. First of all, what's the mood, do you think, amongst your colleagues in the Tory party WhatsApp groups the morning after the resignation before?
Well, I think the overwhelming mood, frankly, is one of relief. We were going through a very, very difficult period with the Prime Minister, refusing to accept reality. Now that he has, I think we can focus hard on finding his replacement. And obviously, the WhatsApp groups are alive with ideas and suggestions. We've got some good. Very, very few candidates have yet declared. But we've got, I think, some very good people at the top of the party. And I'm sure what we have to do now is to make the right choice so that we don't go down a blind alley and we can address the issues that you've just been talking about with Patrick, which are clearly, this is a very difficult time. We're going through serious domestic crises. We've got major international crisis, the first war in Europe for 70 years. We need a serious, whoever takes over needs to be a serious, capable individual.
In 2019, you helped run Jeremy Hunt's leadership campaign. Are you doing the same this time?
Well, Jeremy had to declare, and I remain quite close to him. But I'm also in touch with a number of other colleagues who are thinking about what they should be doing. So I'm not going to reveal this particular point. What's happening. We need to see who the declared runners are, and then I think individual MPs will decide whether they want to disclose who they're supporting. It's a bit premature.
It's a bit premature. What about the idea that Boris Johnson should make way, as John Major suggested yesterday, should go immediately and a caretaker should take over? Do you think, are you concerned about the idea of Boris Johnson remaining in number 10 potentially into the autumn?
Well, actually, I'm most concerned about the fact that the government lost, I think, tens of ministers over the last 48 hours, and we've got to fill those positions. So I would be quite sympathetic to those ministers being reappointed to their old roles. I think it'd be very difficult to do under Boris Johnson. So I'm quite drawn to the idea of Dominic Raab as Deputy Prime Minister fulfilling that role until such time as the new Prime Minister is selected.
You've served as a minister previously under David Cameron and Theresa May. Has Boris Johnson picked up the phone to you and said, please, just come, you can do anything you like, I just need people?
No, he hasn't. And I'm not terribly surprised. And nor would I have served had he.
Although, if you look at some of the people he's given jobs to the last few days, it's a broad church, it has to be said. One other thing I want to ask you, Philip, is do you think Boris Johnson should appoint resignation honours? Do you think, given the manner of his departure and the reason for his departure, should he have a resignation honours list, dishing out gongs to his mates?
Well, it's very much part of our political tradition that this happens. It's not just dishing gongs to mates, it's rewarding people for service to the country. Gone through, one of the most difficult times that any prime minister has had to contend with in peacetime. If you're just looking at his achievements, he delivered Brexit. He then delivered one of the COVID response, with the vaccination program being the most rapidly deployed in a major country anywhere around the world. That required very significant commitment at a time when everybody was, working from home. So I think of the challenges that people have to cope with during this very difficult period, I think is entirely appropriate.
Philip Dunne, really good to speak to you. Thanks so much for joining. We'll get you back when you have declared, or when you're ready to declare as to who you're backing.
Happy to do that, Matt. Thank you.
Very good. Conservative MP for Ludlow there, Philip Dunne.